All right, good morning, everyone. Today's the Town Council regular meeting, Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023 at 8 a.m. in the Town Hall Green Room. Can we all stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is visitors. Are there any visitors that would like to be recognized at this time? Any visitors? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes for the July 19th, 2023 meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Item number 4, we have an appointment this morning. Jason Walter, who is here with us today. Water Pollution Control Commission for a term until 6/30/2026. We've all been able to review his application online. Would we like to hear from Jason? You want to just give us a couple, what you're about, and let us know.
Sure. I'm Jason Walter. I've lived in town my entire life. I do septic system installations, pumping, and I am interested in guiding this town in the right direction for the water pollution. And hopefully, I'm going to give some of my knowledge and help out. I think I would be very helpful to with my knowledge and to hope things move along. So.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jay.
Anybody have any questions for him?
How dare you?
Carol?
Make a motion
Not from you,
to,
Carol.
appoint Jason Walter to the Water Pollution Control Commission for a term until 6/30/26.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
Can I bring up one real quick? I'll keep all business aside as well.
Yep.
It's not gonna be anything like that. It's just gonna be.
That's fine, Jay.
We trust you.
We
'Cause
know
if not,
that.
If not, we're going to go to your mother.
Have somebody here to give them the insight.
No, I
What's
wouldn't.
going on?
It's not gonna be.
No problem.
Absolutely. Thank you again for coming forward.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jay. All right, we'll move on to item number 5, which is the authorizing the resolution in support of the 2023 STEEP grant. This was our discussion at the last meeting where we all were in agreement that we would move forward with a STEEP grant request for $500,000. What we have before us is the resolution to move forward with that grant. So do we have a motion to move forward?
I'll make a motion.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Item number 6 is authorizing the resolution for the charter question for the ballot. We all have a copy of the question. At our last meeting, we all decided that it would be best that we would have one question on the ballot, not multiple questions, to make it somewhat easier. Does anybody at first of all have any questions on the resolution in question as it will appear? No? All right. Hearing none, make a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Okay, on to the line item transfers. 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe we have 6, 7. So these were the things I think that Sue talked about, the line item transfers from last meeting, that these are all the overages as it relates to year end. So this is what we have before us here. If it's okay with everybody, I'll just go through them all, and we can make one motion for all, because they are all overages and transfers as it relates to that. First is General Government Administration, again, for fiscal 2023 overages, total amount of $16,464. Any questions on any of these? All right, hearing none, there's a tax collector line item overage for tax collector full-time for $450, and then general supplies for $77. Any questions on this one? Next one is salary overages for Park and Rec, $3,244. Questions?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
You had that
I'm
look. All right. Next,
Making sure it registers.
yeah. WSAM maintenance, so there's going to be salaries of $1,102, and then overtime of $19,096. Any questions?
Yeah, how did that happen?
They worked more than they were supposed to.
Where is the, I thought the shifts, I thought the way the shifts were designed, there was no overtime. That-
Assuming no one's sick, no one's injured, no one's out. So during the fiscal
well,
year,
the big sick time was 2 years ago. That I could understand, but has there been a shift in the hours so
not
that
change in
there-
schedule, it's just individuals have been out with injuries. Bruce was out with knee and hip replacement.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Okay, that's a lot of overtime.
Well, we're more active now, there's more events going on in the building.
Yeah, but I know there was a lot of work that went into restructuring the schedules so that was.
As long as you have two, and that was also when you had a part-time floater. We haven't had a part-time floater, we let ours go. Performance issues.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. DPW, line item transfer for gasoline diesel, $5,627.15. Any questions?
No.
Finance Department for salary overages, salaries full-time, that come from IT technology for $5,927. Questions? And finally, town manager, salary overages, town manager salaries full-time, $5,205. Any questions? Okay, here, last one, sorry. Fringe benefits for $1,365. Okay?
My just one general question is, with all these transfers, we had the money to transfer from someplace else, so we don't have no type of dipping into the contingency or, okay.
Yep,
So-
sir.
So is this it, or will there be more?
This is the first batch.
Okay, all right.
Motion to approve all the line item transfers we just discussed.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any other further questions?
As far as discussion, so we'll never see transfers from the school because they simply give the money back, correct?
You don't see transfers within the school's budget because that's within the purview of the Board of Education. That never comes in front of the town council.
So that's why we get the money back, because they don't do this. Just to
They
make
do
a
transfers.
point.
They do transfers within their
Oh, they do
budget.
it, and we don't see it.
Correct,
The Board of
because
Ed.
that's only acted on by the Board of Education. Once you
Got it.
give them the allotment, they can move it however they see fit.
Understood.
But they go through transfers just like we go through transfers.
Okay.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. Chairman's report, nothing other than making sure we all remember that we have 72 meetings in the month of August. So make sure we're aware, and we keep all the dates in mind. Starting tomorrow night, we have,
Days we don't have.
Yeah, right.
so tomorrow night, obviously, we have the town meeting, 6 o'clock, green room, or Rose? Rose room. So in the Rose room tomorrow, we have the town meeting tomorrow night for the ARPA approval. And then the 10th, we'll have a meeting, 16th and 17th. So
All at 6 PM, right?
those are all 6 PM meetings, so just want to make sure everybody's aware of it and make sure that those are important meetings for us to, the last 3 are workshops, so those are important for us to make sure we can get together on those. Item number 9 is the town manager's report.
You have my written version of the report in your agenda packet. So the steep grant process is moving forward for submitting our application later this month, now that you've acted on the resolution. In the agenda on the resolution for the charter question, the last item was authorizing the preparation of explanatory text. This is a draft of what the explanatory text would look like. The point of the explanatory text is not to advocate, lobby one way or the other, just to explain to the public what was, or what is in the proposed charter. So the first page lays out the charge that was given by the Council of the Charter Revision Commission, and then the question, and then explaining them that a yes is a vote for everything, a no is a vote for nothing, and the charter stays in place. And then each edit to the charter is then delineated, either describing what the proposed language would do or what the current language is and what the proposed language, how the proposed language is different. So this is something that would be made available at polling stations, online, at the library, at Town Hall, for public consumption, so that they're aware of all the small tweaks in the charter as proposed. The Historic District on Commerce Street is continuing to move forward. A draft has been prepared by the consultant. It's been reviewed locally by Peggy Adler for corrections. The State Historic Preservation Office is also in the process of reviewing the draft, and they're teeing it up for a September board meeting of SHPO to take further action on it. And we're going to be doing an awful lot of hiring, or attempts at hiring in the short term, so that will be future time-consuming activities. That's it.
Any questions for Carl?
Tell a little more about the Historic District on Commerce Street. What are they doing?
So this has been in process for a while. Town received a grant to pay for consultants to do a review of Commerce and Leffingwell. The idea was that could be another historic district, a nationally designated historic district, which would basically open doors to individuals in order to get grants, other funding, if they were to do a renovation of their home that was in historic keeping. The consultant did initial review. Leffingwell was dropped because it was not viewed as being a cohesive historic area, whereas Commerce had a little bit more of a story to tell. So they continued to go forward with Commerce. And that's kind of where we're at right now. There has been no official designation as of yet. The SHPO process of reviewing the draft report would get you to the point of saying it's okay for National Historic Register consideration.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, here and none, we'll move on to item number 10, which is council discussion. Anybody have anything to discuss at this time?
I just wanted to make sure tomorrow is ARPA. And I had talked with Carl, and it seems that one point that was still not contentious necessarily, but under question was pickleball. And I understand that it's now going ahead.
Pickleball is not going ahead until the town meeting approves the money.
But I mean, it's on the list to go ahead, correct?
It was in the public hearing list of
Right.
projects.
Right. But as far as engineered studies,
The engineer
you're
needs,
moving ahead.
the engineer needs money, and the money is tied
There,
up.
and it's there.
Everything is ready to go
Okay.
for pickleball.
Okay.
But the town meeting needs to appropriate money. We can't spend money that isn't appropriate.
Understood. Okay, great.
Anybody else? No, good, okay. We'll move on to item number 11. Does anyone have anything to report on town council committee liaison reports?
Police commission is next week, so.
Yep,
Yeah, we didn't meet.
okay.
It's not a report, but I was invited to the walk audit,
What?
the walk audit that's going on tomorrow. It's a housing group that's taking us on a walk, but I noticed that council wasn't invited, but I understand planning and zoning was invited. Coastal resiliency was invited. We're meeting here tomorrow. No, we're meeting at the train station, sorry.
This is a statewide advocacy group. Abby has been coordinating with them, and she was going to participate and be the town's official participation. They're an outside pressure group.
Pressure to do what? What are they advocating?
There's been a number of pushes for the past 2 years at the state level, to push for affordable housing and loosen up zoning or provide other tools or approaches to encouraging more affordable housing development. This group is doing outreach. They've picked certain towns. They're interested in Clinton because of the train station. I think with my experience and Abby's experience, we're fully versed in what our issues are. We weren't adverse to this particular group's legislation because there were specific carve-outs if
Did you say you were or?
we're not.
Okay.
So they were looking to have increased density around transportation hubs like a train station. However, if you did not have sewers, you were exempt from the increased density. And we don't have sewers, so we weren't adverse to what they were saying. So they're going to come through and say, you should do stuff that's transit-oriented, which we've already done. We've already done the zoning for it.
I'm sorry.
Everything's in place but for sewer, so there's nothing interesting in this.
I just got an invitation, and I noticed that other groups did, and we didn't. That's all. That's the only reason I brought it up. And everyone's invited, it seems, so.
Who did you receive your invitation from?
Coastal Resilience?
Okay.
I think it's just a general shotgun.
You guys
They
forwarded
reached out
you
to
the
Abby
letter?
first before they reached out to me,
Forwarded
so
you the
it's not
email.
anything
I
significant.
thought it was just going to be Abby to do that, walk around.
Abby will escort them and walk them around, and she will be the town's official commitment to their
There's
outreach.
no concern if people want to go and listen, but to engage in some conversations, and this is a kind of a bigger picture, like Carl had said. It's a bigger picture, a bigger push as it relates to state level issues of housing and how they're going to go about doing it. And this is the groundswell and the ground level, I guess, kind of push of going to these communities. But there's a lot of different factors as it relates to that. There was a housing bill this year that was called Fair Share, which Carl had touched on once before. The issue is that the state wants to come in and tell towns how many units, how many affordable housing units they should have in their community. Unfortunately, it's a difficult thing to do because we don't have sewers. So it would be very difficult for us to kind of maintain that and to live by the numbers that they give to us. So the big argument was always our town, our decision. We should be deciding what is best for our town based upon what we can do in our town, because a lot of people don't know. So it was a one-size-fits-all kind of push that they put out there that didn't go through. The other issue that related to that was that they give you a certain period of time to make these units or to put these units in place, and if you didn't, then you could run into issues of receiving grants from the state if you didn't, abide by kind of what they were trying to do. So it's a big picture. Certainly, if people want to go and do a little walk through and walk around and see what's going on and see what they have to say, I mean, I guess no issue there. I'm glad that Abby's going, so she could be kind of the lead on it for our town. So.
Yeah, the point would be to encourage housing in some capacity in and around a transit hub. We already have an overlay district which encourages activity in the area. They would want to see units to be affordable. We don't have a tool to force affordability. There is no zoning regulation that forces affordability. You don't have a zoning regulation on the books at present that encourages second-story housing in the downtown. That's part of the downtown conversation. But you also don't have sewers that support second-story residential either. And your septic study that the WPCC is doing doesn't really envision increased flows from increased development. So,
All right. Anything else? All right. Hearing none, we will look for a motion to go in executive session. And what we'll do, so invite Carl and Mary, obviously, and then Keith and Eric are going to be the two people that we need to talk to as it relates to Fair Rent Commission. So we'll just invite one in at a time, have a discussion with them, and then we'll deal with the appointment after that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Motion?
Motion to
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
I'll get the other end.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. All right, so we are back from executive session. We'll move on to item number 3, which is a Fair Rent Commission appointment for a term until 6/30/2025. Do we have a motion to appoint?
I would like to make a motion to appoint Eric Bergman.
Is there a second?
second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, thank you. Eric Bergman has been appointed to the Fair Rent Commission seat for a term until 6/30/2025. Thank you both for coming in. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yep.
That's it.
Eric, if you get a chance, town clerk, just to get sworn in.
Get sworn in, Eric. Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Keith, for coming in. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll tell. Yeah, okay.
Don't be
All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
We want to stay? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock in the Rose Room. Get there early. It's gonna be, get there early.